What's going on, guys? UFC Fight Night, Emmet versus Murphy recap and breakdowns. Let's get straight into it. Vanessa Demopoulos versus Talita Alencar. This fight opened up the card. Pretty uneventful fight. Nothing much to really talk about here. Vanessa Demopoulos, I thought she was going to be able to stuff some of the takedowns at least and keep it on the feet long enough to kind of win more key exchanges, but nope. She ends up getting not only taken down at will, 4 out of 5 on takedowns for Talita Alencar, she also just gets outstruck by like a lot, 45-10 on significant strikes, and Talita had like 13 minutes of control time. So, yeah, pretty dominant performance from Talita Alencar, I'm not going to lie. And, I mean, she seems like she could be something pretty good in this division. As for Demopoulos, I don't know. If she loses one more, might as well cut her. She isn't really anything special in the sport. But, maybe she can bounce back with another win, but I don't know. Her UFC career hasn't been the greatest. She does have a few wins here and there, but I don't know. It seems like anytime she fights, higher level competitions, she does seem to lose. So, yeah, good win for Talita Alencar. Let's move on to the next fight. Martin Budai versus Uran Satabaldiev. This fight got added to the card pretty much last minute because Kennedy pulled out, so I didn't have a prediction for this one. I picked Kennedy if you didn't watch my original video. And after watching this slop fest, I can confirm that I would have got my pick right. Kennedy would have fucking put Budai out cold. But yeah, we're going to talk about this fight a little bit. Uran Satabaldiev showed low fight IQ. He was clearly the faster guy, especially with the hands. He clearly had better, faster hands. Lighter man skill. I believe he's usually a light heavyweight. He went in there and he was trying to throw these like fast, quick exchanges, but they were just landing on Budai's guard for most of the time. And Saltabaldiev just wasn't really mixing up attacks. He wasn't throwing too much to the legs. He wasn't really throwing too much like to the body. He was kind of just trying to headhunt, and Budai was doing a good job making everything land on the guard. So low fight IQ from Uran Saltabaldiev. Martin Budai just chopped his leg kicks, landed some jabs, mixed in some clinch control. He got a lot of strikes against the fence, a lot of knees and elbows and little tap punches in the clinch, which did steal him the fight. I thought he won the fight pretty clear, 2-1. Thought he won the first 2 rounds. Uran won the third. Dude, when Uran cracked him with the right hand and just proceeded to clinch instead of like... So basically, Uran goes in, cracks him with the right hand. Budai kind of goes on wobbly legs, kind of like hunches over a bit. Instead of like ripping some kicks to the body, throwing some elbows to the head, trying to initiate some strikes, he just clinches up with Budai, and then they end up on the fence again. Like, Uran probably sold the finish there. He probably could have got it, but yeah, sucks to be Uran. And Martin Budai gets the win. One thing that does need to be said about this matchup was since Uran is normally a light heavyweight and it was on short notice, he was at like his regular walk-around weight. He weighed in at like 222 pounds, and Budai was like 250 plus or something, 260. I don't remember the exact weight for him, but I think it was like Uran was like 222 and Martin was like 260 or something, like 255. So big weight advantage for Martin Budai, and you could clearly tell they're about the same height. I think they're both 6'4", but Budai was just so much blobbier and bigger, and he was just able to muscle Uran around in the clinch. Uran almost did get close to a takedown, but he wasn't able to get one. So yeah, Martin Budai gets the win, and Kennedy would have fucking beat the shit out of this guy. So yeah, let's move on to the next fight. Victor Henry versus Pedro Falco. This was actually a pretty fun fight. I picked Pedro Falco to win a decision. Victor Henry gets the decision. It was pretty fun though, man. First round, they're kind of just trading shots back and forth. Henry lands a huge shot which puts Pedro Falco down, and I was kind of starting to get worried. I was like, damn, my pick's really about to just get finished like that. But nope, Pedro Falco survives. And in the first round, he isn't really able to get anything going. He isn't really able to get any takedowns. But as the fight went on, he started securing more and more takedowns. He got 3 takedowns in the second round, won that round. Third round, he was able to get a takedown, but it got reversed. And then Henry ended up on top and stayed up there and just did damage from top, which won him the fight. But it was a pretty close fight, pretty competitive, and honestly a fun scrap. I like this, and Victor Henry, man, he's 38 years old, and he's still getting wins against these younger guys, man. We got to start talking about Victor Henry as one of the more underrated bantamweights in the unranked area. He's good, man. Drops Pedro Falco in the first round bad. Isn't able to follow it up with a finish, but Falco's pretty durable. I don't believe he's ever been finished, so pretty impressive stuff. And Pedro Falco just isn't really able to get the wrestling going that much, only in the second round. Even in the third round, he went 1 for 5. And Henry was able to get takedowns of his own and hit a lot of reversals. He had like 3 reversals in this fight, so yeah, great win from Victor Henry. I was doubting him in this fight because he's getting older, got submitted by Charles Jourdain in his last fight, and I don't know, I just thought Pedro Falco was going to be able to get the win, but yeah, Victor Henry gets it done. Let's move on to the next fight. Loma Lookboonmee versus Estela Nunes. I picked Loma Lookboonmee, and she gets it done. I thought it was going to be way more dominant. I thought she was just going to be able to kind of clean her up on the feet with the fast, superior striking style and get the takedowns and submit her in the second round. But Estela made it close. She definitely didn't win. She was like, at the end of the fight, she was like jumping around for joy and like fucking all happy and stuff. And then she got really sad when she didn't get the decision. It's like, you didn't win, Lo, bro. What are you doing? Like, that was a clear win for Loma. One of the judges even gave it a 30-27, which I don't mind, but two of the judges gave it a 29-28. So Estela did take a round, and I don't know. Estela, she just can't seem to get a win. And I don't know. She made it close at least, but she got outclassed in pretty much every area. She got outstruck on the feet, outcontrolled on the ground. Round one, she was landing a couple decent shots, but Loma was just landing better and faster, and it was clear that she was just levels above. On the ground, Loma was getting the takedown. She went 3 for 5, got 4 minutes and 30 seconds of control time. Estela did have 3 minutes and 15 seconds of her own control time, but she didn't get any takedowns. It was all clinch control, and she just didn't really do any damage with her strikes or anything. I don't know. Estela just can't win. She's 0-5 in the UFC. Can't get a win against these guys. She's not UFC level at all, and she definitely needs to be cut from the sport. She should have been cut after like going 0-3, let alone 0-5. But yeah, uh, Loma Lookboonmee gets a pretty easy win. There was a little bit of adversity, which I don't like because I know Loma's a lot better than that. She's had way better performances against better fighters. Her performance against Bruna Brazil was arguably better than that, and Bruna Brazil, I would say, is a better opponent than Estela Nunes. But yeah, Loma Lookboonmee gets the win. Let's move on to the next fight. Reese McKee versus Daniel Frunza. I was so excited to see Reese McKee get this one done. This was one of my highlights of the card. I picked Reese McKee to win. I knew he was going to be a hard stylistic matchup for Daniel Frunza. Better on the feet, dangerous, lanky, tricky frame to deal with, and Frunza just didn't know what to do. Reese McKee has way more experience. He's fought some of the highest level guys in the division, like Hamzat Chimaev. And he's just, I don't know, he's just good, man. He's a lot better than his UFC record shows. Now 1-4 in the UFC. But man, those 4 losses were against some pretty high level opponents, and Daniel Frunza just didn't have the experience and couldn't deal with Reese McKee's firepower. Arguably a 10-7. I would say it's a 10-8 in the first round. Arguably a 10-7 though. He dropped him like 4 times, 3 or 4 times, and Daniel Frunza just kept getting back up. But dude, he was busted up, a fucking split lip. His eye was all swelled up and cut, and he survives the first round. But then the doctors call it. So first round doctor stoppage TKO for Reese McKee. He gets the win. Proud of him. Super happy to see him get a win. I like Reese McKee. He's a fun fighter. He's cool. And I knew he could get it done here. And you know what? I'm going to start believing in Reese McKee a lot more from now on. And dude, he's a lot better than his record shows. If any of you guys haven't seen his Cage Warriors fights, go watch those. They're brutal. He's a fucking warrior. But yeah, Reese McKee gets it done. Let's move on to the next fight. Dione Barboza versus Diana Belbita. This was a lock, pretty much. I don't know. I should have locked this. Dione Barboza is just a way higher level fighter. Diana Belbita has struggled with grapplers before. Got submitted by fucking Molly McCann in her last fight. Like, come on. Like, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't lock Dione Barboza. I already knew she was gonna win. Getting submitted by Molly McCann is crazy. I picked Dione Barboza by first round sub. She gets it done by first round sub. Gets her down, lands a couple good strikes, and then just works to an arm triangle and gets it. And yeah, pretty much all there is to say about this fight. Dione Barboza, she has potential in this division. I do think she's a solid grappler, but I don't know. It's hard to gauge how good someone is when they just bulldoze through a can, because anybody can just bulldoze through those cans. Not saying Diana Belbita is a complete can, but I don't know. She isn't the best fighter at all. Getting submitted by Molly McCann in the first round, losing a lot throughout her fight. She lost twice to Molly McCann, actually. I just realized that. She lost another fight to Molly McCann by decision back in 2019. So I don't know, man. Just bad looks all the way around, but Dione Barboza gets a clean win. And yeah, I don't know. I think she could be pretty good in this division. She has good grappling. And yeah, let's move on to the next fight. Robert Valentin versus Torres Finney. I went with Torres Finney via a second round TKO on the ground, and Torres Finney gets it done by decision. Should be unanimous. I don't know why it's a split. Clearly a 2-1 for Torres Finney. He won the first 2 rounds. Valentin steals the third, but I don't know that I hate when judges do that. Like, it just really rubs me the wrong way. Because, like, it just shows how corrupt these judges can be sometimes, giving a 30-27 to Valentin when he clearly won the first 2 rounds. It's like, it reminds me a lot about at 305, the Tai Tuivasa versus Jairzinho Rosenstrike fight, where one of the judges gave it 30-27 to Tai Tuivasa, even though it was clearly a 2-1, arguably 3-0 to Jairzinho Rosenstrike. This is exactly like that, except it wasn't striking. It was just mostly wrestling. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people hate on Torres Finney for this performance, though. Seeing a lot of hate. Seeing a lot of people saying he was stalling, he wasn't fighting. I kind of agree in a sense, but not really. I don't really agree at all, actually. It's not like he was just holding him against the fence and failing all of his takedowns. He got 8 takedowns, picked him up and slammed him multiple times, and most of his control was on the ground, not on the cage. Yes, he should have tried to strike a little bit more, maybe try to chop some big low kicks. He's got heavy legs. He's got big legs. He looked like he could throw some dangerous low kicks. Maybe some front teeps to the body. On the ground, throw a lot more ground and pound, try to go for submissions, but he played it safe, got the takedowns, held him on the ground, and just ragdolled him and dominated him in the wrestling. If he was like Ankalaev Maxine or Marab Maxine, where he's just holding you against the fence and failing like 90% of his takedowns, like if he went 0 for 12, like Ankalaev did against Pereira and just stalled against the fence and kneed him in the thigh, then yes, I'd be like, okay, Torres Finney, the fuck was that shit? But no, he was getting the takedowns, picking him up, slamming him, and ragdolling him, and most of his control was on the ground. So I don't really see where the hate for Torres Finney's coming from. Like, you guys just hate to see someone wrestle, or you put Valentin in the parlay. Just say that. But yeah, Torres Finney gets a good win. Should have been a unanimous 2-1. Um, I don't know what the judge was thinking, giving it 30-27 to Valentin, but yeah, I don't know. These judges are just fucking corrupt as shit sometimes. And this is why you don't bet on the sport. Two reasons. One, the judging is flawed, and the judging system is just shit sometimes. And, well, it's not even the judging system, it's the judges themselves that give bad scorecards. And number two, the second reason you don't bet on fighting is that fighters are some of the lowest IQ athletes in any sport. So yeah, just don't bet on fighting. We're gonna talk about a low IQ fighter later on this card that fucking sold me my one lock pick. But yeah, Louis Garule, or not Louis Garule, he's after this. Torres Finney gets it done. Let's move on to the next fight. Louis Garule versus Ode Osborne. Ode Osborne puts Louis Garule out cold. Not out cold, but pretty much out cold. So first round starts. They're landing shots back and forth. Garule's landing good. Osborne's landing good. Close first round. Second round, dude. Osborne lands a nasty, nasty right hand, which just drops Louis Garule bad. And pretty much like a flash KO, but Garule tries to get up, and then Osborne just ground and pound finishes him. Dude, great win for Ode Osborne. He gets right back in the winning column. I thought Louis Garule was just going to be able to get the takedowns, control him, do good on the feet. And Ode was on like a 3-fight losing streak and just wasn't looking good. Got submitted by Almabayev, submitted by Filio. Lost a decision technically to Ronaldo Rodriguez. I thought he won that fight. I thought I should have went to Ode, but Louis Garule ends up getting the win. Or Ode Osborne ends up getting the win by KO in the second round. So, yeah, great performance from Ode Osborne. And, dude, he is a really fun... I was thinking about picking him as an underdog because I know he's dangerous. He's very long for the division, 73-inch reach at flyweight. He has the longest reach in flyweight, I believe. And he's just really fast and explosive. He's kind of like a budget Manel Cop in a way. Like, kind of, but not really. I don't know. He's pretty much just a budget version of Manel Cop. So, yeah, Ode Osborne, definitely don't cut him. Keep him around. He's coming off a win now. I was afraid that if he lost this, they were going to cut him. I like Ode Osborne. He's a fun fighter. And, yeah, hopefully he does good things moving forward. Let's move on to the next fight. Gerald Meerschaert versus Brad Tavares. This was a pretty easy pick in my opinion. Brad Tavares gets the win. Defends all of the takedowns. Meerschaert went 0 for 8 and just cleanly outstrucks Meerschaert on the feet. Faster hands, better boxer, better striker. The reason I had the odds so close is because you never fucking know with Gerald Meerschaert. He just randomly can just get you down somehow and submit you. And in the third round, he kind of got close to getting Tavares down, which did scare me, but Tavares does have some grappling himself, and he's never been submitted, so I was pretty confident that Brad Tavares was going to be able to survive, and I was very confident that he was going to be the better, faster striker in this matchup. I know he's got good hands, he's got good boxing, and he showcased that in this fight, man. His hands look slick, and yeah, he just cleanly outstrikes Gerald Meerschaert, pieces him up, hurt him multiple times, was landing good leg kicks too, and Meerschaert just looked frustrated in there, couldn't get the takedowns, couldn't get anything going, he just looked frustrated, and I don't know, I kind of feel bad for the guy. He looked like he didn't really want to be there. Maybe the Rainer de Ritter loss really hurt him or something. But yeah, Brad Tavares gets the win here. 29-28 unanimous decision for Brad Tavares, and he ties Michael Bisping for most wins in the middleweight division. So that was a pretty cool moment. Him and Michael Bisping shared when Michael Bisping was interviewing him in the octagon, the two guys that have the most wins in middleweight history. So who knows? Maybe Brad Tavares gets in there later on this year and gets a good win over someone. Um, who knows? But yeah, Brad Tavares, great performance, pretty decently fun fight, landed some good shots. Didn't really have any moments where he looked like he was in trouble at all. Mearshart landed a few shots, but nothing really crazy. Tavares almost dropped Mearshart a few times. I was surprised he didn't get a knockdown. He was landing pretty hard, but yeah, Brad Tavares gets it done. Let's move on to the next fight. Cortavius Romeus versus Chang Ho Lee. I picked Chang Ho Lee by decision, and he gets it done by second round ground and pound TKO. He looked really good in this fight, man. His grappling looked really good. He was able to take Cortavius down pretty much easily and just out-grapple him. Cortavius did have like a good reversal at one point, but Chang Ho Lee had like 3 reversals. So yeah, clearly just the superior grappler. Look for some good submission attempts. Cortavius just looked lost, and he just couldn't find top control. Every time he got on top, he would like slide off, and Chang would just get back on top. And dude, when Chang was on top, he was landing some vicious elbows, some vicious fists. And on the feet, man, these guys were just fucking slugging. They were just going at it, fucking biting down on the mouthpiece, swinging. This was a really fun fight, easily fight of the night. And dude, Chang Ho Lee ends up getting a bloody ground and pound victory over Cortavius Romeus. Fun fight, man, really fun fight. I think Cortavius Romeus should be cut from the sport. I really do. He's now 1-3 in the UFC. He got 30-26 by Gaston Bolaños, and now just got finished by Chang Ho Lee. Like, he should have got cut after getting 30-26 by Gaston Bolaños. Like, that is insane. Gaston Bolaños is not the guy that should be 30-26 in you, but yeah. Chang Ho Lee gets the win. Second round ground and pound TKO. As for Chang Ho Lee, I actually think he has potential. He calls himself the Korean Khabib, and I could see it, man. He's got dominant wrestling, a lot of good ground and pound. He makes it fun. He swings on the feet, takes you down, and then ground and pounds you. This guy's just aggressive. He seems to have good cardio, and I'm excited to see Chang Ho Lee fight in the future. This guy's really fun, and yeah, sick fight. Let's move on to the next one. Joe Anderson Brito versus Pat Sabatini. This fight pissed me off. I was pretty confident. No, I was very confident in Joe Anderson Brito. As you can see, I picked him by a lock, and I picked him by first round TKO. I thought, he's got really good takedown defense and just really good grappling in general. It was going to be very hard for Sabatini to just get him down and maul him on the ground. Didn't think he was going to do that. And I thought on the feet, Joe Anderson Brito is going to keep it on the feet long enough. He's got dangerous power. Sabatini's chinny. He's going to just catch Sabatini and put him out just like Diego Lopez did. But no, doesn't land anything good on the feet and just gets bulldozed and taken down and dominated on the ground. Has no success on the ground whatsoever. And he didn't even really try to defend the takedowns. When Pat Sabatini shot in, he jumped a guillotine. Why are you jumping guillotines on submission specialists and grappling experts? Like, this isn't fucking Andre Fili or Jordan Vucenic who's going to stick his head into a guillotine. Sabatini's not that stupid. His jiu-jitsu's too high level for that. You're not going to catch a guy like that in a guillotine. Like, and you can even see, like, in the third round, when he started, like, actually defending a couple takedowns, he was doing good. He was defending the takedowns. Sabatini was, he was looking for them. Brito was doing good defending. And then Sabatini just shoots another one. Sabatini shoots another takedown, and Joe Anderson Brito jumps a guillotine and then ends up on his back and doesn't get the guillotine. Like, obviously. Like, it should have stuck in his head after the first, 10 times. That, oh, I can't guillotine this guy. I'm not going to be able to do anything. Like, I don't know, man. Sabatini, he had good ground and pound. Good control. Couldn't find the submission, but he dominated Joe Anderson Brito the whole time. And I don't know, this just pissed me off because Joe Anderson Brito is very good. The guy has a win over Diego Lopez. Went on a crazy finish streak in the UFC. The only time we've seen him lose to grappling was way back in 2022 against Bill Algeo. You'd think he'd improve over 3 years. And it seemed like he had. He rarely gets taken down by anybody else. Like, I don't know, man. Like, this guy is fucking chinning Jack Shore. And fucking chinning Andre Fili and shit. And I don't know. But Pat Sabatini just dominates him and 30-26s him. This is what I mean. This is why you don't bet on fighting. Because Joe Anderson Brito, who's clearly the better fighter, decides to jump guillotines on a submission expert and thinking he's going to get the guillotine. You're not going to guillotine a guy with that high level of jiu-jitsu. You're not going to guillotine a jiu-jitsu expert like that. You're just not going to do it. It's just not how jiu-jitsu works. You're not going to guillotine a guy that's that level. but he didn't even care. He just wanted the guillotine, I guess, and he kept putting himself on his back. And on the feet, yeah, he landed a couple decent shots, but like I don't know. It's like he didn't even seem as powerful as he usually does. I don't know. I probably sound like I'm coping, but I'm not. Great performance from Pat Sabatini. I'm just saying Brito showed low fight IQ in this fight, and he costed me a lock. So yeah, I'll never forgive you, Brito. Yeah, Pat Sabatini gets the win. Let's move on. Josh Emmett versus Lerone Murphy main event. I picked Lerone Murphy by decision. Lerone Murphy gets it done by decision. I scored it 4-1, 49-46 for Lerone Murphy. I thought Emmett, the only one that, I thought the only round that Emmett won was the fourth. And other than that, he just didn't do anything. He just didn't. Like, first round, sure, he gets a takedown, only has him on the ground for 5 seconds. So, cool. He kind of like picked him up and like slammed him. It was kind of crazy actually, but yeah, doesn't really do anything with the takedown at all. He was only on the ground for like 5 seconds. And yeah, he landed a few decent shots here and there, but Lerone was just sticking and moving, landing better shots. Most of Emmett's shots were landing on the guard and not getting through. Round two, Emmett just has less success. Murphy's sticking and moving, landing way better shots. Emmett gets the takedown, sure, but he only has him on the ground for a minute and 50 seconds. Doesn't do any damage on the ground. And Lerone just gets back up and continues to piece him up and outstrike him on the feet. Round three, again, Josh Emmett gets a takedown, but doesn't really do anything. Doesn't really get any ground and pound. Only has him on the ground for 1 minute and just can't do anything. And Lerone Murphy outstrikes him in that round 33-7 and just starts piecing him up. Like, I thought it was 3-0 Murphy headed into that fourth round. The fourth round, again, like, all of Emmett's like power shots were landing on the guard. Was it the fourth round that I gave Emmett? I don't know. I gave one of the rounds to Emmett. I can't remember. It might have been the first. Honestly, I can't remember. But round 2, 3, and 5 were definitely Murphy. Round 1 and 4, from what I remember, could have went either way. This could have been a 50-45 for Lerone Murphy. I know that sounds crazy, but rewatch the fight. Like 90% of Emmett's punches were landing on the guard. Like, I'm serious. Emmett didn't really get any power shots through. And like the few that he did get through didn't really do anything. Murphy had more damage. He cut him open with that elbow. Stumbled him in the fifth round with that straight jab. I don't know. This was just a clean performance from Lerone. Like I was saying, I made like a whole written thing on a Verdict, if you guys use the Verdict app. I made a whole written thing talking about how I don't think Josh Emmett has much of a chance. Lerone Murphy's going to circle the outside, stick and move, use his footwork, not get caught, and if he does get caught, he's going to survive, because I was talking about how Josh Emmett's power is overrated, and it is. I'm not going to go into full detail about it in this video. Maybe I'll make a different video about Josh Emmett's power, but I believe Josh Emmett's power is overrated. He doesn't get that many KOs. Yes, he gets a lot of knockdowns, but his opponents get back up. Like, he doesn't really put that many people out cold. Like, I'm being serious. He just doesn't. But still, great performance from Lerone Murphy. People were saying he ran away. No, he didn't. He doubled Josh Emmett in significant strikes, and Emmett turned into a wrestler. But yeah, yeah, Murphy just cleanly outstrikes Josh Emmett. As I said he would. Way slicker striker. His footwork's too good. Emmett's an overhand merchant. He's not accurate, and his power's overrated. So yeah, I'm not saying Josh Emmett as a fighter is bad, and I'm not saying he doesn't hit hard. He definitely hits hard, and he is good, but he just doesn't hit as hard as you guys think he does. Like, I'm serious. Go watch Josh Emmett fights where he doesn't get the KO, which is most of them. Let me rephrase that. Go look at Josh Emmett's resume and look at all the decisions that he has. Even when he lands the knockdown shots and puts his opponents down, they go to a decision a lot of the times. He just can't find the finish. Like, yes, he hits hard, but he doesn't have that KO power death touch that guys like Aspinall or Terrence McKinney or guys like that have. But yeah, I'm not going to get into full detail. If you guys want the written breakdown, I will send it to you in the comments. I'll just put it in the comments down below if you guys want. But yeah, great win for Lerone Murphy. Did exactly what I said he was going to do. Circled the outside, used rangy movements and rangy attacks, and just outstruck Josh Emmett. And Josh Emmett turned into a wrestler. Couldn't really get anything going. All of his power shots landed on the guard of Lerone Murphy. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is the next day that I'm recording this, so I might have to go back and rewatch the fight to remember which rounds I gave Josh Emmett. But I don't remember. But all I know is that I scored it 4-1 Murphy while I was watching it. I can't remember which one round it was for Emmett. It was either round 1 or 4, because round 2, 3, and 5 were all clearly to Murphy. Was it round 1 or 4? I don't know. I scored one of them for Murphy and one of them for Emmet. I scored it 4-1 Murphy. But yeah, this fight was pretty much exactly how I said it was going to go, and I'm pretty happy about that. I'm pretty happy that I was able to predict it that perfectly, and Lerone Murphy gets it done. People are saying it was boring. He was running away. He wasn't running away. He was circling the outside and using his footwork. That's a completely different thing. Yusuf Zalal in the 3rd round against Calvin Kattar. That was running away. This was not running away. This was circling the outside, using a sophisticated jab, using your footwork, and outclassing your opponent and doubling him in strikes and out damaging the so-called power puncher. But yeah, Lerone Murphy gets it done. Oh wait, round 4. Yeah, it was definitely round 4 that I gave to Josh Emmett. But even that could have went either way. That was a really close round. Round 1, I was thinking about round 1 because like the strike numbers were close, but then I remembered Lerone Murphy cut him with the elbow. So yeah, that round goes to Murphy. So 1, 2, 3, and 5 to Murphy. 4 could go either way, but I slightly scored to Emmet. But if they gave that round to Murphy too, I wouldn't have even been mad. This could have been a 50-45 for Lerone Murphy, but I scored it 49-46. Anyways, Murphy gets it done. Let's move on to the official recap. 7 out of 11 on picks. Pretty happy about that. 2 of the fights got scrapped, but hey, it is what it is. Fight of the night, Chang versus Romius, easily. Brawled it out on the feet, and the grappling exchanges were super fun. Best finish, Osborne versus Goulet. That right hand was fucking sick. Put Goulet out cold. And yeah, it was nasty. I went 0-1 on my 1 lock pick. Pat Sabatini just completely fucking destroyed Joe Anderson Brito, and I just gotta live with that now. But yeah, dude, my lock pick got 30-26 by Sabatini. That's wild, but hey, it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. My lock percentage is still above a 70%, so we're happy about that. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys in the next one, 314. Let's go.